Hi everyone, it's Connor McDougall with Redder & Company, Sotheby's International Realty and McDougall Real Estate. Today I'm going to talk to you about why I believe there is a housing market bubble in the Tri-Cities. Stick around because my explanation may not be what you are expecting. So when you look up bubble in the Oxford Dictionary, here is how it is defined. Used to refer to a good or fortunate situation that is isolated from reality or unlikely to last. Now, your interpretation of this definition may be different than mine, but that "or" that I've bolded and underlined is the key to differentiating the Tri-Cities housing market from others in the country or even in the state. When we look at that definition again, it states that a bubble is a good or fortunate situation that is either isolated from reality or unlikely to last. I believe the Tri-Cities housing market is in fact isolated from the reality that the rest of the country faces, and I'm going to show you why that is. Although this is well known to most locals, the engine that drives the Tri-Cities economy is the Hanford Site Cleanup Project. The current budget for the Hanford Site Cleanup is approximately $1.3 billion per year. Due to the sensitive environmental nature of the project, there's been a clear trend since its approval in 1989. Regardless of the economy, political movements, or global incidents, this is a project that must go forward to completion at all costs in order to ensure that the Columbia River remains clean. This means that year after year, the federal government continues to fund the project, ensuring that a strong and stable economy for the Tri-Cities. This is where I believe that we are so lucky to live in an area isolated from reality. The chart on the screen right now shows the housing price index from the 1975 until present. Tri-Cities can be seen in gold, Washington in blue, and the US in gray. From 1989 to present, what do you notice about the gold line representing the Tri-Cities? There was an initial surge in home prices after the site cleanup was approved, and since then, the market has seen very steady growth, even through the boom and bust era of 2003 to 2012, where the rest of the country saw housing prices skyrocket and then subsequently crash due to loose mortgage lending laws and practices. Once again, when home prices on the west side of the state started surging between 2013 and 2018, Tri continued with its steady, sustainable growth. When the west side started seeing a correction between 2018 and 2020, you guessed it, Tri continued with its steady growth trend. Some of you might be pointing out that during the last 2 years of the pandemic, Tri-Cities followed the same trend as Washington and the US, which is true. But those markets don't have the same stable economic drivers that Tri-Cities does, i.e. the Hanford Site Cleanup. And for those people thinking that we're currently living through another occurrence of the 2008 housing market crash, let's quickly review what caused the crash in 2008. The simple fact was people were purchasing homes they physically could not afford to pay the mortgages on. Because so many people were purchasing homes they couldn't afford, demand was extremely high, which caused home prices to increase rapidly between 2004 and 2007, similar to what we're seeing now, high demand. Once people realized they couldn't pay their mortgages after the introductory rates expired, that's when the mass sell-off started, which led to the plummeting housing prices and ultimately the Great Recession. Now let's look at some of the major differences between then and now. First of all, we have a huge inventory shortage. Since supply is low, we saw a huge increase in the purchase price of homes. Second, people who are buying homes can afford to pay the mortgages, whether that be through rental income or their salary for their primary residence. This was not happening leading up to the 2008 housing market crisis. And third, due to the low inventory, vacancy rates are at an all-time low for both rentals and personal properties. At the end of the day, no one has a crystal ball to look into the future, and the best we can do as professionals is look to the past to advise us on what the most likely thing is that's going to occur. There's so much more information and statistics out there. If you'd like more information, please reach out by phone, text, or email, and I'll do the best I can to answer any questions you may have. Thank you for watching, and subscribe to my channel and other social media feeds to continue receiving updates and information on the Tri-Cities housing market. See you guys next time.